Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I will be putting away a very tiny stack of Golden Child PCs. I will also be downsizing part of my collection, and by downsizing I mean putting a bunch of these cards up for trade so I can add in new cards into my collection. So as we get started, you can see that I have my tour posters from when Golden Child came to the US. I'm going to do a very quick flip through just so I myself can see what photo cards that I have. And I actually think I flipped through some areas that I was actually supposed to add to. Hold on. This is definitely less than 10 photo cards, but a lot of them come with interesting stories. For example, these two photo cards up here are actually a trade with one of my, I would say, online friends slash pen pals slash Discord friends, but either way, we are friends and we met through Discord, and she ended up coming to an area near me because of a concert that she was attending. And so because she is one of the people who I would, I would definitely say that she is one of the people who I would attribute most of my Golden Child collection slash affinity towards, because she's one of the people who was the most forthcoming when it came to like introducing new Golden Child content to me. And she was the one who also started me off with a pretty big Gulcha haul because she had a bunch of extras. Either way, she came to a city near me for a concert, and then we ended up deciding to meet up with a bunch of our other mutual friends who all live in the area as well. So it was nice and super fun to hang out with people who you talk to online, because when you actually meet them in person, it's actually almost like a little stressful slash awkward, because you don't know how much of your online interaction will carry over to your in-person interaction. But I'm very happy to say that we still get along in person and online equally well. We were trading some photo cards, and because we knew that she was coming for so long, instead of like wasting a stamp and having things potentially get lost in the postal service, we decided to just hold off and wait to trade in person. So for these two old Jaehyun album photo cards, I don't know what era they're from, but they're really cute. I traded, I think, 3 tag photo cards for these two, which makes sense. It's around like an equal exchange because these are older photo cards. Not a lot of people buy those albums new. So that is that, and she ended up giving me a bunch of these freebies as well. And this is actually from another friend, I'm pretty sure. Oh, just kidding. This is actually something that she sent me months ago with that first welcome package into collecting Gulcha, I guess. But these are photo cards that people don't really collect. These are from Pump It Up, I believe, and they're AR cards. I'm not really sure what the AR card actually means, but either way, I know that these are incredibly cheap to come by. People either have them for 50 cents or free with any other purchase type thing. And she, obviously in this scenario, I also received them for free. But because I now have a bunch of these plus tags, now I'm kind of wondering if it's worth it for me to just complete an OT10 set. Because having all these gaps makes me think that I might as well just go for a full set. And honestly, I do quite like these cards. I think they're fun, and because they're so easy to collect, I don't think it'll be hard for me to find like a trade with another, I don't know, maybe a pre-order benefit and trade it with someone who has like a bunch of these AR cards they're trying to get rid of. As you can tell based on the placement, I had actually filmed a previous putting away photo card video, but I didn't like the way it turned out, so I have redone it. And for this page, I received this from another friend who I met up with that day. This is really cute. This is a Sungyun Tower Records pre-order benefit, I believe. But yes, she was basically teasing me in that after meeting Sungyun and doing a snapshot with him at the concert, I kind of swerved into his lane, or I definitely swerved into his lane that day, because his fan service is something else, and because that basically scalped me, I really wanted a photo card of his. And so she gifted me one, and that is basically it for these photo cards. I think I do want to talk about how I want to proceed with my photo card collection for Golden Child. It really is like a music over personality for me for K-pop, at least when it comes to collecting. There are some groups where I collect where I admit to not liking all of the members or being indifferent towards a good majority of them. But because I like the music and because I really like my bias, I still collect them. But for Golden Child, I can very honestly say that I do adore a lot of them. It is just that I think that the first comeback as a new fan is always the most important, because it kind of sets the tone for how involved you're going to be in the fandom. And I do want to admit to not being impressed by their last comeback, which was Aura. So, like, my dislike for Aura isn't drastic enough for me to want to downsize my entire collection, because I think that's a little too fickle. Especially because I have so many, like, nice associated memories with Golden Child already. But I do think that my collection has gotten a little out of hand, so I do think I want to slim some of it down and kind of maybe just focus on completing certain sets or only getting photo cards that I really wanted to. A lot of these photo cards actually came from trades where I was just getting rid of my extra Pentagon photo cards, so I was just kind of flippantly trading for whatever I could get my hands on. But I do think I want to slowly focus on sets that I like. So this entire page, as you can see, most of it was a gift, but I do think I want to start slowly downsizing. I know that I mentioned before wanting to complete this entire OT10 set, but it's actually really difficult to find the other cards, and I don't want to pay $8 for a Golden Child pre-order benefit, because most of them don't really sell for that much, but that's the price that people are selling them for. So unfortunately, I think I had to put this little collection on hold. I am going to be downsizing my tag collection just a little bit. Not completely, because I still do want to finish most of his older era cards. But I think for a lot of his pre-order benefits, I'm just not too interested in for the most part. So I am going to start taking cards out that I'm not completely married to keeping. I do know a bunch of these were gifts at one point, so I don't want to get rid of the cards that were obviously gifts. And because I have my binder like this set up in a 2x2 type of frame, I want to see if I can keep it like that as well. So in terms of this situation where these cards kind of look similar, or at least the background is similar, where they're, you know, the only thing similar is that they're behind, or tag is in front of a brick wall. I don't know if I really want to keep a set of two, or if I really just want like one of each one, if that makes sense. Like, do I just want to keep one set of the ones where he's in a white shirt, or do I just want to keep the set where he's in a black sweatshirt? Or do I want to just keep one of each so I have a bit of diversity? It is in moments like this where I realize that downsizing a collection is incredibly difficult, just because you kind of associate a lot of memories with it. So I will be seeing what I can keep. There's a lot of photo cards that I'm just like not too interested in. But I guess like in terms of these four, or these four like sides, there are the ones that I will be the most interested in downsizing, because they do make up like a decent bunch of my collection. And I feel like if I let them go, I wouldn't be too sad. But then again, I also can't tell if it's just because I'm trying to force myself to let go of cards at this point. I'm gonna let that one go. And like these two cards are virtually like exactly the same. So do I like the way it's set up like this? Or do I want to put everything into like a regular 9-pocket binder so I can just look at everything without any bias towards like how it actually looks on a page? Because I think that is the thing that makes me hesitate a little because subconsciously I'm like, oh, you know, this looks so good on a page, therefore I need to keep it the way it is. But in reality, do I actually like the card or do I just like the way it looks on the page? That is my thing. Okay. Any card that doesn't have a little post-it note on the back is a free game because it wasn't a gift from someone. This is difficult because I do really like the way these pages look, but I also don't need this many photo cards of him. Then again, who really needs photo cards at the end of the day? Okay, so now I actually don't think I will be downsizing as much as expected, but now, because I do have some gaps in my binder because I took out these photo cards, I am going to see if I can just reorganize everything on camera and see if I like the way it looks. Something I do have to say about really liking Tag's photo cards is that even though he is pretty consistent with his poses, at least there's something a little different each time. Like, these are for I think these are all like Everline pre-order benefits, but either way, even though they're very obviously from a series, he's still doing something a little bit different, so it's not close enough that you'll be confused when you're buying or trading. But it's close enough that it looks like it's part of a series. I think I have previously mentioned that a goal of mine was to actually complete this entire collect book by a certain amount of time, but I am glad that I didn't follow through with that. At least something like clearing everything out gives me time to reevaluate my entire collection, because I do want to see if I continue collecting Golden Child in the future. Without a question of a doubt, I don't know if I use that phrase right, but without a doubt, I will be keeping my collection and at least my older photo card collections for Golcha, especially for Tag, but I don't know if I will continue adding to it. And that is everything for this collect book. As you can see, I left most of the older era stuff alone. I am definitely not touching my Take a Leap collection because I have very fond memories of that collection. And, you know, the selfie cards where he's holding a phone, I just really like. So obviously not as big of a downsize as I actually wanted to, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that maybe 30% of this binder is a gift from someone. And I definitely don't want to downsize on friends' gifts because that's just, to me, that's just not something I would feel comfortable doing. If I send a friend a photo card as a gift and they decide to sell or trade it, I think I would also feel some type of way. But at that point in time, it is a card that is in their collection and therefore not any of my, none of my business. And I just noticed this, but this is actually pretty cute. But unfortunately, these cards will also have to go. So thank you for watching today. I We'll see if I add to my Golden Child collection anymore in the future, but until then, thank you for watching and good luck collecting.